Hello, good morning. Welcome to Better Life. I'm Dr. Ayo Akinshete. I want to continue with you today on how to marry without getting into debt. How to marry without getting into debt. I have mentioned one of the ways to do that is by having a simple registry. A simple registry. Number two, Sunday morning wedding. It makes it easy. Nobody comes on Sunday to come and eat. You can have your wedding with a Sunday morning service if you want to have it in church. Focus on your engagement. Your engagement is your real wedding. Focus on it. And then buy clothes you can afford. You don't have to buy the best of the best in the market. Buy clothes you can afford. Then knock out reception. Reception is not compulsory. It's an age-long tradition. If you cannot afford reception, have your wedding and go to your house and have it fast. Let it be a short and sharp wedding so that people can get back to their houses and eat. Have a simple or no honeymoon. If you can afford a simple honeymoon, why not? If you can't, forget about honeymoon. Do your honeymoon in your house. There is no crime having your honeymoon in your house. No crime. Then if you want to cut cost, don't take your daughter or your son or their fiancé to back to hometown. So let them have the wedding where you live, particularly if you are not living in hometown. Hometown weddings is not it's not special. Let the people who love you from your hometown come and meet you. Don't put everybody at risk because you want to go to your hometown. You want them to know that you have allegiance for family. You don't need that. You don't need that. And I say, if taking your pastor on a journey for your wedding, for your engagement is going to cost you too much, take blessings from your pastor before you travel and cut down cost. Go and have your engagement and come back to your church for Thanksgiving. Pastoral blessing does not have to be at your engagement. It does not even have to be at anywhere. They can be done in the office. It can be done in the church. You don't have to spend fortune transporting your pastor and his wife or your pastor and her husband, as the case may be, because you want them to be there. Now today, let's add to that. If you want to cut down on wedding cost, you don't want to get into debt, remove other people's travel cost. You are the one getting married. You are the bride. You are the groom. You don't have to be the one to pay for anybody's travel cost. Whoever loves you should pay. They should pay for their fare to reach the town where your event is going to happen. You can organize someone from your office to arrange with those coming from your office. That person will be the person to arrange with them and then organize a vehicle for them. From your church, arrange somebody who can arrange a vehicle for them and then tax everybody how they are going to pay. Among your friends, get somebody who can arrange with your friends and then tax all of them. They get the vehicle. If you do it that way, the coordinators will be the one burdened with how to arrange vehicles and collect all the money. It won't be on your neck. If you are the groomer, you are the bride, and you are the one calling the driver, you are the one arranging the bus, people are not going to pay. They will go and come back and the driver will come back to you. If you put a coordinator in your church to organize those who are coming from your church, put a coordinator among your friends and let the coordinator organize those who are coming from there. Put a coordinator in your office and then let the coordinator organize those who are coming from your office. It will make life easy for you. And then people will not put their cost of transportation on your neck. You have a lot to spend on. You have a lot to spend on. Don't add anybody's transportation. It will surprise you that even when I got married, I knew this because I got married. Yeah. From the city where I was pastoring at the time in Oyo State, down to the north. I was the one that paid for the coaster. Everybody just entered. Nobody came back and said this is transport fare. Because I was the one that arranged the bus. If I knew what I know now, I would have sincerely arranged the coordinator. The coordinator would have been the one to collect money from everybody. I didn't arrange a coordinator. But you see, I want you to learn from my stupidity. The coaster came, went to the north and came back, and I had to be the one to pay. Yes, the money was there at the time, but you see, it would have been better to keep that money and spend it on my new bride and make her happy and make her enjoy the family. Look, you don't have to waste money you can save. You don't have to. You don't have to. Another one for today. Avoid unnecessary credit. Avoid unnecessary credit. If you want to marry and not get into debt, avoid unnecessary credit. While the wise are solving tomorrow's problems today, stupid men create problems they cannot solve for tomorrow. Well-meaning people who have what you want, who have what you may need while preparing for your wedding, they may want to give you on credit. Some of them, because of their love, they may want to give you. Some because they just want to do business. They know somebody wedding, we need this thing, and they want to do business. They can give you on credit. Some want to sell their market. Others may do it out of love. But whichever, be careful of credits. If care is not taken, you would have got more than you can handle. You would have beaten more than you can chew. Credit facilities are beautiful at the point of collection. but very difficult when it's time to pay back. When money loan is given, it is clear what you are up against. But when it is materials on credit, the prices may not readily come to mind. What comes to mind are the things you collected on credit. Somebody gave you a cow, somebody gave you one bag of rice, somebody gave you, it will look like it's not a debt. If somebody gives you 2 million, you know you are owing 2 million. But by the time you collected the cow on credit, you collected rice on credit, you collected this one on credit, by the time they add it up after the wedding, you will see that it is 5 million. You will not be wondering, how can it be 5 million? That's the danger of collecting things on credit. It will look like those who brought the credit are devils. But at the point of collecting those things, it will look like they were angels. It is easier to collect money, to collect a loan, than to collect things on credit. Because when it dawns on you that what you have collected is more than what you can pay for, it will be after the wedding. Be careful. People are going to come from everywhere. Oh, would you need this? I can arrange it for you. You can pay after the wedding. Would you need that? I can arrange it for you. You can pay after the wedding. And before you know what is happening, you are already deep in the ocean of debt. Very deep. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 1. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. Why did I read that? When you collect too many things on credit, where it's going to end ultimately is that you won't be able to pay some of them, and it will earn you a bad name, a very, very bad name. That's what it will earn you in the long run. When you are unable to pay back, then they will tell you, I was assisting you. I didn't want you to walk into shame. Now you don't want to pay me. Now you don't want to pay for the material I gave you. You don't want to pay for the cow I gave you. You don't want to pay for the vehicle I gave you to use for 1 week. At that time, they will ruin your reputation. It is better to go through the shame of not having what you should put there. You should put 10 things there. You put 8 there. You put 7 there. The shame will soon wipe off in a matter of days. But the shame of not paying people you are supposed to pay, it will linger. Somebody said, the debts are like children. The smaller they are, the more noise they make. Be careful. Be careful. You don't want to get into debt. There are a lot of ways to help yourself. A lot of ways to help yourself. A lot of ways to help yourself. Don't compare your wedding with another person's wedding. Don't compare your wedding with another person's wedding. Don't compare your wedding with another person's wedding. It is in the place of comparing yourself with another, comparing your wedding with another's. That is what will be pushing you to do what you have no power to do. Comparison is an act of violence against yourself. I want to say that one more time. Comparison is an act of violence against yourself. Comparing yourself with others is one of the highest forms of self-destruction. Comparing yourself with others is one of the highest forms of destruction. Self-destruction. And people who love themselves don't destroy themselves. Fingers are not equal, and they will never be equal. There will always be people better than you, and others who are better than. There will be those who may be at your level. Yeah. Never try to have the kind of wedding someone has had, even if they are your contemporary. You never can tell who may be bankrolling them. I heard of a man who called his son-in-law and gave him 100 million. The young man was a banker, and he won 20,000. The man knew that this guy is a good guy, but at this level, he can't have the wedding the way I want it. I want something elaborate. Boy, he had the money. He told the young man the kind of friends coming and all of that, how we want the wedding to go. And he told him, I know you may have saved up some money, but I don't want you to waste your money. Marry my daughter. He gave him 100 million. And he told him, don't tell anybody you got the money from me. Spend the money to do all the things I've told you. Let it be elaborate, but pretend like you are the one spending. Oh, the wedding was elaborate. It was big. Everybody was happy. But the young man didn't have to waste his money. Now, that young man had a friend whose life saving was 10 million. When it was his own turn to wed, he wanted to copy his friend. He too was trying to buy this, buy that, to match up with his friend, whose wedding was paid for by his father-in-law. Look, if you don't know who is drumming for your friend while he's dancing, you should be careful. Don't dance where he danced. Don't dance the way he danced. Listen and hear your own song before you dance. Be careful. No comparison. No comparison. You are on your own. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. For we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise. Do your wedding according to your pocket. Forget about the record others have set. Set your own record by spending only what you can afford. In wedding, who spends more is not the goal, but who will enjoy and make the marriage last. There is nothing beautiful about an expensive wedding that will lead to a bad marriage. Let me say it again. There is nothing beautiful about an expensive wedding that will lead to a bad marriage. And debt will make your marriage a bad marriage because it will put you under pressure. And there is nothing bad about a cheap wedding that will lead to a glorious marriage. If your wedding is cheap and it will lead to a glorious marriage, it's a beautiful one. My sister, it's a beautiful one. My brother, it's a beautiful one. Focus on your own wedding and not how much others spent on their weddings. Comparing yourself with others is nothing but a waste of time and energy. Be true to yourself and trust that you will always come out as a winner in the end. Win in marriage, not in wedding. Cheap wedding, glorious marriage is better than expensive wedding and a bad marriage. Be careful. And lastly for today, rent a house of your size. You are preparing to wed. In an average church now, they will tell you must get a house. If you already have a house as a bachelor where both of you can live, good. They certify the place right. And if you are a spinster and you and your husband can live in your house, they say, okay, go ahead with your wedding. You should get a house if you don't have one already. But please, if you want to get a house, don't get a house bigger than you. I have noticed that young couples want to get an accommodation of their dreams in preparation for a new start. They forget that there is a big difference between your dreams and your present reality. Dream big, but plan on what you have. I remember a new couple that rented a 3-bedroom flat in a beautiful neighborhood. They lived there for a year and couldn't even fill one room and living room for the whole year. At the end of the first year, they couldn't renew. They had to pack out to a room and parlor in a very far neighborhood. You don't climb a tree from the top. Start life from where you are and grow into your dreams. If your house rent is more than your 2 months or 3 months salary, that house is bigger than you. I want to say it again. If the house you have got is more than your 2 to 3 months salary, it is bigger than you. Even if you have been married long ago, even if you have children already, if you live in a house that is more than your 2 or 3 months salary, the house is bigger than you. You are going to pay other utility bills and service many other purposes. By the time you have used more than a quarter of your annual income for rent, what will you spend for other numerous and important issues? Wake up and wise up. Wake up and wise up. Get an accommodation of your class. The type you can pay for without fasting and prayer. If you have to rally around every year to pay for your rent, you are in the wrong apartment, my brother. If you have to beg everywhere to pay for your rent every year, you are living in the wrong house. It is possible to have financial issues at times and need assistance. If that's your case, it's okay. You can call for assistance. But you see, the people you are calling know that you need assistance. Not that you come every year. Not that you come every year. If you get a house in preparation for your new home that make your heart to skip, you got the wrong house. Go and get your money back and retrace your step. It is humility to know your level and stay there while you hustle to move up. If you jump up, you will come down. If you grow up, you will stay up. Take time to grow and you will even build the house of your dream instead of renting one. Be wise. If where you stay before your wedding is good enough, start your life there after wedding. It is not compulsory to marry and move out of where you stayed before. It is a stupid philosophy that the groom and the bride must live in a new house. It doesn't have to be new. If the house of your bride, if your bride is staying alone, if her place is good enough, start life there. If your own place is good enough, start life there. Damn every stupid tradition and do the needful. Don't put your life under pressure. I'm going to stop here for today. I love you. Do you need to call or send SMS for prayers? We are here for you. The number to call is 070-5666-7686. I love you. See you again tomorrow.